I'm real. Anything I report on about Diddy is coming from what other influencers, what news articles, and I'm a comedian. I put my spin on it, but nobody is paying me to do that.
And I've seen it, and I like it.
Yeah, thank you.
It's very simple that if it was the fact that somebody was paying you,
right,
people who were getting some negative, talk,
would be interested
in finding that out and possibly going action either against that person,
right,
or.
Am I at any danger for doing this?
And eventually they let me know that they're private investigators, although they will not tell me who their client is.
Right, I sort of intermittently talk about what's going on with Diddy, but usually in relation to other people that I cover, such as like Jennifer Lopez and the Kardashians, that kind of thing. So I do talk about what's going on there, just not in depth. Like, I don't know everything about everything. I'm not a law all crime girly at all, and I'm definitely no lawyer. What has happened is that we have had, I think it's actually more than 2 at this point, TikTokers who have come out and said that they have been reached out to, or literally had these private investigators turn up at their back door asking them questions about their content and whether or not they were like being paid off to say things.
They asked me if I was being paid by any company to do these videos on Diddy. They specifically said it was talking about Diddy. Patriots, I am now scared, literally. I am scared for my life. They came to my back door.
Asking, if you're paid money by anyone to be saying this against Diddy or like whatever, we will offer you more money to say stuff in the opposite direction. So crazy stuff. So I have seen a couple of these videos. I saw this news article that was basically saying Sean Diddy Combs attempting to obstruct justice from jail, prosecutors say. I saw this and I was like, ooh, and I heard something about a phone. As soon as I saw this, I was like, oh, these TikTokers are actually telling the truth. Not that I wouldn't think that they were, but there's just so much stuff going on about P. Diddy at the minute that you're never too sure. So I'll just read a little tiny snippet and then I'm going to share with you what I found and the creators that I'm talking about. So there's going to be quite a lot of clips. I say at one point that I swear this was going to start happening. I don't know if I did, do not quote me on that, but I was definitely thinking it, that I bet you anything we're going to get some PI people, some PI on the go. Sean Diddy Combs has attempted to contact prospective witnesses from jail in a bid to sway public opinion ahead of his upcoming sex trafficking trial, prosecutors have claimed. Combs pleaded not guilty to charges that he coerced and abused women for years with the aid of a network of associates and employees, while silencing victims through blackmail and violence, including kidnapping, arson, and physical beatings. He says his mutual relationships were consensual and strenuously denies all wrongdoing. In the latest step of the ongoing case, prosecutors say a review of recorded jail calls made by Combs shows he has asked family members to reach out to potential victims and witnesses and has urged them to create narratives to influence the jury pool. They say he has also encouraged marketing strategies to influence public opinion, which is where we're coming into now, so it's all starting to make a bit more sense. The filing said, the defendant has shown repeatedly, even while in custody, that he will flagrantly and repeatedly flout rules in order to improperly impact the outcome of his case. The defendant has shown, in other words, that he cannot be trusted to abide by rules or conditions. Prosecutors wrote that it could be inferred from his behaviour that Combs wants to blackmail victims and witnesses into silence or into providing testimony helpful to his defence. Okay, I will leave that article linked to the description box so you can go and have a little read. But here we are now. So we now know that, he's been making some calls. I was bumbling along on my TikTok and I saw a post from this guy called Secret Service Sam. And Secret Service Sam, I'd never come across him before, but going on his page, he's a comedian, he does skits, and he posted a video, this is the one that I saw, of him standing there and there were these 2 men.
So you guys are private investigators who have come to my private home asking about influencers? This is very uncomfortable, you guys.
I don't know why. I'll explain.
No, you're at my home.
Okay, so you don't want to talk to us then?
Have I broken some law?
Absolutely not.
And you have the thin blue. This is frightening. I think. Can you guys step away from my home?
Well, we're in a public street, so the answer is no. But I'm not. Listen, we're not trying to give you a hard time.
Why are you here? What do you mean? You're showing up at my
We're
house.
very nice and respectful, and we will be. I just have 2 quick questions for you, and if you want to be interested in it, great. If not, I'll have a nice day. We're not
What is this? This is odd.
So
You have to admit this is very
it
weird.
always is, and people always ask us the same question. I'm happy to explain it to you. So
What?
Very simply, we were just hired to speak to a few people that do, have a lot of followers, stuff like that, on different platforms.
What is this about the Diddy stuff I report on?
Somewhat, yes.
Wow.
Not necessarily doing stuff, but people are involved in just stuff like that. So basically, a very simple question is are you paid to influence that's stories like that in any direction?
No, not at all.
That's all we wanted to know. Because if the company is, they're looking into people who are.
Are you guys gonna pay me for this visit? Like, this is frightening.
So-
Like, I'm super. You have to admit, if I came to your house, and like, I thought this was a joke. I thought I have a friend coming over business right now. Like, this is extremely weird for me. I have 100,000 followers. I'm not making any money.
That's one of the reasons why we're here, and that's the question that we're asking. If someone contacts you, say, in the last 6 months and is paying you to influence in a certain way.
No.
Either one way.
Is it illegal if somebody would have?
So the answer is no.
Okay, I wish somebody would have. I'd
It's
love to be
certainly not.
making real money off this. I mean, this is terrifying.
Very simply, if somebody was paying you,
Right.
the company we work for, just asking that question.
Right.
If somebody was, they would just be willing to possibly offer you money to know who and see what's going on. To try
Wow.
to,
Well, they're paying me $1 million. Will you guys give me $2 million? I'm joking. But seriously, this is very odd, you guys. You guys came to my house. It makes me feel slightly good that maybe I'm getting some notoriety for this, but this is crazy.
So apparently, there's tons of things influencing going around.
Okay.
A huge percentage of it is all bots, not real.
Interesting.
certain
No,
things
I'm
like-
real. Anything I report on about Diddy is coming from what other influencers, what news articles, and I'm a comedian. I put my spin on it, but nobody is paying me to do
And
that.
I've seen it, and I like it.
Yeah, thank you.
It's very simple that if it was the fact that somebody was paying you,
Right.
people who were getting some negative, talk,
Would be interested in,
in finding that out and possibly going action either against that person
Right.
or
Am I at any danger for doing this?
zero. The only time you would ever have any liability is if you said, "I know for a fact this person raped it."
No, yeah, no. All of I'm satire. I'm a comedian.
And you have
you
to
know,
say allegedly.
I always say, like, wow, I'm shocked that this is. I've never had fans come visit me. I'm just filming you guys because this freaked me out.
Everything you do is real. And so many things are just bots.
Right.
So we got a list of about 15 people. not just us,
Interesting.
that only post themselves.
Wow.
And we're just trying to find out if people are paying for the story to be
Okay.
pushed.
Got
or-
it.
Listen, everybody talks about it.
Okay.
I'm not
okay.
an influencer whatsoever.
Right.
Guess what? Me and my friends talk about it once in a while.
Right.
Oh, you got
Right, and I understand I'm not looking to spread misinformation, and TikTok docks you very quickly. If I've had videos that are like, oh, that sounds threatening or this and that, but well, can I get your guys' information just so if I have something that comes up, I can contact you guys?
So to be honest, like,
No?
we can't give out our company because
Okay.
they don't want to be linked to anybody.
Got it.
Some people were very quick to point out, like, how do we not know this isn't like a sketch? How can we be so sure? He did actually go on TMZ to clear some things up, and he's actually filed a harassment report which basically states, like, I'm not making this up. It's actually against the law to file false harassment claims anyway. I believe him. I do definitely believe him when he's saying this, even though he does do skits.
It's very surreal.
They were at your back gate. That must have been alarming. And what was your initial question to them? I would imagine it would be something like, "What the hell are you guys doing in the alley behind my house?"
I went out to my backyard for a second, and I was expecting my friend Donnell Rawlings. I work on his podcast and produce it. And it's this guy peering through my gate, and he's like, hey, I'm looking for social media influencer Samson. And I'm like, who's playing a prank on me? This just seems, it was too crazy to be real. My instincts told me, Sam, film this whole thing. Something's up with this. Anybody saying it's staged or it's fake, it's just, I've done prank videos. This is my career as a comedian for over 20 years. And it's like, you hearing my voice, I am genuinely terrified. My wife is mad at me now because it's like these men came to my back door to ask me if I was working for some company, and then they offered to pay me more than what that company was paying me to stop doing these videos.
Ever mention a dollar amount?
No, but they said whatever I was being paid, they would pay me more.
You filed a harassment report with the LAPD, and you're aware that if this were a joke that you were doing, it's a crime. It's a crime to file a false police report.
Yes, and furthermore, Harvey, like you said, I'm a comedian, I'm a producer, I've been in Hollywood for 20 years, and I come from a family of lawyers. This is not something I would be on here talking to you guys. I respect the news, the truth. This was not a staged video. I put my life on it.
The funny thing is, there's another creator called Amala, and she said pretty much the exact same thing. However, these two PIs, who she later on in another video confirmed they were the same guys from the Secret Service Sam videos, they actually went to her old apartment. So her old apartment people, the girls, boys that used to live there, opened the door, and Amala went on the phone with them, and it was very, very, very similar.
These are the two private investigators that went to my old apartment this morning looking for me, trying to ask me the very same questions. These two guys show up, they end up running into my old roommate since I don't live there anymore. She calls me, and immediately I can tell on the phone when I'm talking to these guys, something is not right. They're not letting me know that they're private investigators. They're asking me questions about the content that I put out online and whether or not I'm paid to say certain things or to spin certain narratives. I tell them no, I'm not paid to say anything on my channel, and I start going at them with questions like, who are you? Where do you work? What do you do? Who's hired you? And eventually they let me know that they're private investigators, although they will not tell me who their client is. I got their names Robert and Peter, although they would not tell me if they worked for a larger company or if they had their own company. When I asked them what the company name was, they would not say. When we finally got down to what the hell they're doing at my old apartment, they were essentially saying they were going to travel around to different influencers who are covering P. Diddy and his connection to other celebrities. They wanted to find out whether or not those influencers are being paid. Once they found that out, they were going to pay the influencer, I guess, to disclose who was paying them, and on top of that, offer them more money to make content with the opposite narrative, I guess. Maybe making these celebrities look better than the previous content in which they covered them. I was pretty hostile with these men for obvious reasons, because who were you? But it did seem as though once they knew that I wasn't paid by somebody to share this information about Diddy and other celebrities, that they really backed off and said, sorry to bother you. We're just gonna go about our day. There's really nothing more you need to know, and you're not gonna hear from us ever again. Who knows whether or not that's true? Matter of fact, who knows if any of it's true? So yeah, I think we're gonna see a few more stories like this, because they apparently have a list of other people that they're going to be visiting to ask these questions. I don't know what's going on. I don't know who's paying these men, but that was my experience, and I'll keep you guys posted if anything else happens.
These guys once again confirmed that they are going to be traveling around to other influencers, because they have other places to go, other TikTokers, other influencers, creators, however you want to call it. They're traveling around to these other places, trying to work out if they're being paid by a company or whatever, and if they are, they're going to be offering more money to basically say the opposite. How suspicious? No, it's not even suspicious. It's just full blown, we know what's going on. And it's funny because now we are kind of knowing that this is what Diddy is doing. Now people don't even really want to mention his name in the video for fear of being jumped on by these PIs. Also, this whole thing about AI as well. I don't know if you guys caught that. I think it was the Secret Service Sam video where they're talking about AI and how it's really hard to know nowadays, and they just want to find out the main culprit of what.
Tell you why, because everything you do is real. And so many things are just bots.
Right.
The thing is that during this whole entire time, based on what I have read, Diddy's been trying to get bail, and the courts, they're basically saying no. Because apparently ever since he set foot in where he's been in jail, he has just been repeatedly just breaking the rules. And now that this stuff is coming out about him contacting witnesses and sending PIs to creators' homes, they're basically just no. You're not allowed bail whatsoever. We need to keep our little beady eye on you. There was even alleging that they were considering it on Diddy's defense. They were saying, well, what happens if we sell his plane? Can he then be allowed bail? Because of course, just get a plane out of there. And they're basically just going no. Every single time they've gone to the judge and they've gone, hey, can we just get a bail? They're like, nah. Kind of thought that this would happen, but it's really surreal that it is happening, because the people that it's happening to are just normal everyday people who just have accounts. Do you know what I mean? It's just so bizarre. But that's pretty much all I've got for you guys today. Ultra short and sweet. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day wherever you are in this world. Take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and I will catch up with you guys in the next video.